Hey people, another fragrance video from myself. I've been doing a few of these recently, as you may have seen, alongside my usual travel videos and bits and pieces. My last video, which I hope you will have watched, involves some of this fragrance you can see in the background there, which because it was about high street fragrances, and that's ones you can buy from high street clothing stores for very little money. But I thought I wanted to do something again that's different, and this time I've decided to pick out 5 fragrances which I think are the best from the 1990s. Now, this is my personal opinion, so that's a disclaimer there. You may think, well, there's XYZ fragrance, why is that not included? It'd be either because personally it doesn't work for me, or because I'm not aware of it. I will give you a sort of heads up. The 5 fragrances I'm going to mention now are all very well known. They're all from major brands as well, but they are all very good as well. Now, when I say 5 fragrances, I'm actually going to do a 6 because I'm going to give an honourable mention to one that's at the back here, and that's this one, and that is Versace's The Dreamer, which is a very playful scent, almost unisex, very much sort of lavender bomb, soft but kind of really distinctive. It's not something you'd wear in the office because it's a bit too playful. It hasn't got that aquatic, it is quite a standout fragrance, and it's also very cheap now as well. Back in the 1990s, 1996 when it came out, it was quite expensive. Of course, it's from the House of Versace, so it's a designer fragrance. But now it can be picked up for £20 to £25, so cheap. But that's an honourable mention, that didn't make the list. So we come on to the ones that did make the list. And the first one is this one here. Now, I've had this a while, as you can see, the bottle is nearly empty, and it's a small one, it was bought as a present. And it's Calvin Klein Eternity. Now, some of you might think this is an 80s fragrance, but in actual fact it came out in 1990. The association I think with the 80s comes from the fact that the women's version came out in 1988 or 89, but the men's fragrance followed it a year or two later. But very much a 90s fragrance, because not only was like I say in 1990, but it was also massive in the 1990s. This was very popular. This is what women went out and bought their boyfriends in the mid to late 90s because it smelled good, and women over probably 30 will still very much appreciate this now. It's quite a distinctive fragrance. You're not going to smell many clones of it. Again, it's kind of a daytime fragrance, but it was worn heavily by clubbers back in the day, and it still packs a punch now. Coming on to number 4. Now, this is one you don't see often and is very rarely talked about in the fragrance community, so I'm probably going to do a review of this at some point, and it's Paco by Paco Rabanne. Now, this came out in 1995. Originally, the can looked a bit different to that because it was all silver. This newer version still smells pretty much the same, now has this obviously black finish to it. And it's quite a rare fragrance to buy. I mean, if you were to go into any of the main high streets in Britain now, like your Debenhams and your Boots and your perfume store, etc., you wouldn't find this. I actually found this in a Spanish airport for €20. But I remember it when it was out originally back in the 1990s, and it was a unisex fragrance, which was very much a rival at the time to CK1. The problem was that CK1 became massive, and this kind of just sort of faded away into the background, and now it's still in production, but it's not heavily around, and again, you don't see, like I say, many reviews of it. But it's a very nice fragrance, it's a very versatile fragrance, and it's one that I used to wear back in the 1990s when I was at school, because it was the first fragrance I ever had when I was 14. It's a little bit of story, so it's a bit of nostalgia for there, and that's why it's made the list. So one maybe to look out for if you haven't seen it already. On to number 3. Now, no 90s list could be complete without this one. This is an absolute 90s icon. Fortunately, it has been reformulated, so this version from 2015 doesn't quite have the same power as the original. It doesn't have the same longevity, but the original was an absolute beast. Vanilla and mint, real clubbing scent, real distinctive. Absolute monster performance in the original formulation. I mean, it was the sort of thing that you could spray on a Saturday night, go out in town, come back, have 2 showers, and you'd still be able to smell it. If you got this on your clothes, it'd be on for weeks. You could run it through the wash 3 or 4 times and you'd still be able to smell that sort of vanilla note there. But phenomenal scent. Problem, well, it became too popular for its own good. A few people started wearing it who were sort of undesirables, and that gave it a bad name and it faded away. It's still around, obviously people still buy it, but you can buy it in supermarkets now. you don't really smell it on that many people, or I don't anymore. But it does, you know, still a very good scent and an absolute classic, Hall of Fame fragrance. Now for number 2, and this is another, got to be a Hall of Fame fragrance from 1998. Again, I bought a small version of this because I couldn't believe I didn't have a version of it. I looked all over, and I went out and bought it especially for, because I knew I was going to make this video. Now I'm going to wear it as well, because like I say, it is absolutely beautiful. It's again a versatile fragrance, boss bottled. Has some similarities to another 90s fragrance, which is Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger, just because they have a real distinctive apple note. This is for all occasions. You could wear this anywhere. You could wear this to the office, you could wear it out clubbing, you could wear it to meet your girlfriend's parents, to a wedding, whatever. You know, this is just an all-rounder, and also available for, you know, reasonable prices now. I think this bottle was about £45. I actually overpaid. Probably could have got it for £10–15 less if I'd have shopped around. But you know, at the time, grabbed it, bought it, because it just brings so many memories. Came out in the late 90s, was really big in the 2000s, but very much, you know, from 1998. Are you ready for number 1? Again, it is a classic. Arguably, the best-selling fragrance of all time. It is Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio, the original, from 1996. Clean, aquatic smell. This, still today, gets incredible comments from women. Incredible. And although people say, well, you can't wear it anymore because it's been worn to death, everybody's worn it. That's not actually true in the UK. I think that's very much an American thing. In the US, this was, you know, so popular, it was everywhere. In Europe, I don't know, but in the UK, obviously UK is part of Europe, but where I'm from, this wasn't that common in the 90s. I mean, it obviously sold well, it's, you know, continues to sell, but it wasn't, you know, a Le Male or 1 Million, what they came along later. This was still very much, you know, not that common, and then you can still wear it today. I mean, I wear this quite often. I wear it to work as well. Great, versatile all-rounder, and really one that everybody should have in their collection. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, just some suggestions from the past from myself. Just my opinion. I'm no real expert on this. It's something I'm getting into more and more. You know, there are obviously other people on YouTube that can give you far better reviews of these fragrances, but I built up quite a bit of a collection, so I just wanted to put something together that has my opinion in there. I think there's a couple of gems, a couple of really obvious ones, but you know, they're obvious for a reason. That's because they're popular, because they're good. Thank you.